DavidDBurns, When Panic Attacks, the new, drug-free anxiety therapy that can change your life. Dive into When Panic Attacks, the new, drug-free anxiety therapy that can change your life by DavidDBurns, a transformative guide that challenges traditional approaches to anxiety and depression. This summary unravels the intricate web of emotions that define anxiety and depression, highlighting their interconnected nature. You will explore refreshing, non-pharmacological strategies like cognitive behavioral therapy, CBT, and the power of self-awareness. Through insightful techniques, such as modifying self-defeating beliefs, SDBs, and using humor to tackle fears, the book offers practical exercises for lasting mental health improvement. Are you ready to uncover and confront the emotions that fuel your anxiety? Embark on a journey that empowers you to transform fear into resilience, encouraging a life of balance and fulfillment. By engaging with Burns' groundbreaking methods, you'll find the clarity and courage to navigate the challenges of anxiety and depression without reliance on medication.
Navigating emotional turmoil. Embarking on a journey through the intertwined landscapes of anxiety and depression can feel like navigating a maze. Anxiety grips you with the fear of impending danger, much like feeling panicked on a high mountain trail when you're scared of heights. In contrast, depression carries the weight of a calamity already occurred, leaving you with a sense of worthlessness. Understanding why these emotions often coexist involves exploring four main theories. One suggests an inability to separate emotions, another sees depression as a precursor to anxiety due to the stress of perceived inadequacy. Alternatively, anxiety might usher in depression as relentless worrying wears one down. There's also the notion that a single underlying cause triggers both conditions. To make sense of these complex emotional states, society often resorts to diagnostic labels like generalized anxiety disorder. While useful for treatment and research, these labels derive from subjective criteria and risk classifying normal emotions as pathological. Unlike clear-cut medical diagnoses, emotional states rarely fit neatly into such categories. The widely accepted chemical imbalance theory attributes anxiety and depression to serotonin imbalances, yet lacks solid scientific backing. Interestingly, much of the perceived effectiveness of antidepressants may actually stem from the placebo effect, as demonstrated by studies comparing medications like Zoloft with placebos, showing no notable difference in outcomes. In contrast, cognitive behavioral therapy, CBT, emerges as a superior method for addressing these conditions effectively. Research underscores the long-term benefits of CBT, surpassing medications. By utilizing practical techniques such as daily mood logging and exposure therapy, individuals can systematically counter negative thoughts and confront fears. Incorporating tools like mood surveys and written exercises aids in recognizing and reshaping these thought patterns. While medications like benzodiazepines can complement CBT, caution is advised given their addictive potential and withdrawal effects. Ultimately, lasting change hinges on dedication to cognitive and behavioral strategies. With consistent application, these methods pave the way to a more balanced and fulfilling life, free from the shadows of anxiety and depression. Overcoming self-defeating beliefs. Imagine being in control of your emotional responses by understanding the root of your intense reactions, self-defeating beliefs, SDBs. These underlying attitudes significantly shape our vulnerabilities, affecting both personal and relationship dynamics. On a personal level, an SDB can make you link your worth to perfection and external validation, like tying self-esteem to constant achievement. Interpersonally, it sets unrealistic expectations on how others must behave, or correlates happiness solely with being loved. It's crucial to differentiate between the fleeting negative thoughts you feel during stress and the constant presence of SDBs. These beliefs color your daily experiences, leading to exaggerated reactions to failure or rejection. For instance, if you're achievement-driven, any failure might not just be a setback but might make you feel like a total failure. Such beliefs thrive under the radar and amplify your emotional turmoil. To tackle these self-defeating beliefs, begin by tracing them back from your negative thoughts. Probe deeper with each questioning layer until the core belief is revealed. For example, a student's anxiety over an exam may uncover a hidden fear rooted in perfectionism and the need for approval. Once identified, you can use a structured, three-step approach to transform these beliefs. Start with a cost-benefit analysis. Lay out the advantages and disadvantages of your belief to evaluate its true impact on your life. Next, revise the belief. Shift your perspective to maintain positive elements while discarding negatives. Instead of chasing perfection, aim for excellence, embracing mistakes as stepping stones to growth. Testing the revised belief in real-world scenarios is essential. Experiment with situations that challenge your expectations, such as performing tasks without needing perfection and focusing on your contentment levels. Confront fears by visualizing worst-case outcomes. Suppose public speaking haunts you, picture the scenario where you forget your speech. Gradually desensitize by practicing in front of a mirror or a few friends. This exposure reduces anxiety's grip, as the feared outcome is rarely as disastrous as imagined. Understanding and transforming self-defeating beliefs empowers you to dismantle the cycle of negative emotion. By examining and reconstructing these beliefs, you actively reclaim control over your mental well-being and open pathways to freedom and resilience. Laugh away anxiety. Imagine laughter as a transformative power against anxiety and self-doubt. The idea is that humor can change your perspective on stress and negative thoughts through three inventive techniques: shame-attacking exercises, paradoxical magnification, and humorous imaging. Shame-attacking exercises challenge social anxiety by encouraging you to act silly in public on purpose. The goal is to realize that embarrassing yourself doesn't lead to the catastrophic outcomes you fear. Picture a psychologist asking for miniature condoms in a bustling drugstore as an example. Despite the awkwardness, moments like these can be liberating and eye-opening. Much like the playful act of sampling food from strangers' plates at a restaurant, such antics often end with laughter and relief, as people generally appreciate harmless eccentricity, easing the dread of social faux pas. Paradoxical magnification takes negative thoughts and amplifies them to an outrageous degree, shedding light on their irrational nature. Consider Mandy, who feared her Aikido test. By imagining herself as the clumsiest participant, she saw the absurdity of her anxiety, ultimately calming her nerves and helping her succeed. Humorous imaging replaces fearsome mental pictures with comedic ones. Envision Jose, a worried ophthalmologist, picturing himself as a renowned blind doctor performing complex surgeries with a seeing-eye dog as his assistant. Such humorous fantasies can diminish fear. Similarly, imagining your critical inner voices as cartoonish figures, like Elmer Fudd, helps make them less daunting and more entertaining. To apply these methods, embrace harmlessly outrageous actions for shame-attacking exercises, exaggerate your fears until they're laughable for paradoxical magnification, and visualize your anxieties in amusing forms for humorous imaging. While not a one-size-fits-all solution, these laughter-based techniques can provide newfound emotional freedom and resilience, aiding those grappling with social anxiety and self-doubt. Embrace your fears. What if turning your deepest fears into sources of strength was within reach? Exposure therapy offers a groundbreaking approach to manage anxiety by directly confronting fears. This method recommends tackling anxiety-inducing situations head-on, gradually reducing the fear over time. Classical exposure engages real-life anxiety triggers. Begin with scenarios that are less daunting and work your way up to more intimidating ones. Consider a person with a blood and needle phobia. She might start by imagining a blood draw, move on to watching one, and eventually undergo her own blood draw without fainting. Flooding, on the other hand, immerses you in your greatest fear until it loses its grip. For instance, someone with a fear of heights might stand atop a tall ladder. Although initially terrifying, the experience can eventually become exhilarating as anxiety wanes. Response prevention aims at compulsive behaviors by resisting anxiety-relieving rituals. Imagine someone compelled to shout while parking their car, by resisting this urge, initial anxiety spikes but gradually recedes, breaking the compulsive cycle. Cognitive exposure targets mental fears and conditions like PTSD, using cognitive flooding, vividly imagining worst-case scenarios, to desensitize and lessen anxiety. Imagine a mother fixated on the fear of her baby being switched at birth. Repeatedly visualizing this fear diminishes its hold. Memory rescripting merges cognitive flooding and narrative change of traumatic memories. Suppose someone fears public transportation due to a childhood incident on a bus. By imagining the event vividly and altering it, envisioning themselves empowered, the anxiety's emotional impact reduces. Initiate these practices by crafting a fear hierarchy, listing fears from least to most frightening. As you face each step, let anxiety rise and then naturally fade, chipping away fear and cultivating confidence. By challenging these inner monsters, you find liberation, realizing your fears were never as menacing as they appeared. Unlocking hidden emotions. Imagine anxiety not as an adversary, but as a riddle pointing to a deeper, hidden emotion. The hidden emotion technique provides a path to uncover and address the emotional conflicts that often manifest through anxiety or panic attacks. Delve into the experiences of Terry and Marcy to see this process in action. Terry, despite an outwardly content life, suffered panic attacks triggered by the presence of her boss or moments of solitude. Behind her smiling facade, she harbored a deep dislike for her job, compounded by the pressure to uphold a good daughter image. This led to feelings of entrapment and dissatisfaction, suppressed to avoid disappointing her parents. It wasn't until Terry confronted these buried emotions and pursued her true passion, designing women's clothing, that her panic attacks disappeared. Similarly, Marcy spent over 5 decades in relentless worry about her son's safety and her husband's health. Yet, this chronic worrying was a smokescreen, concealing her unvoiced anger and frustration toward her family. Her son's life choices and her husband's tendencies fueled a resentment she dared not express. The breakthrough came when Marcy acknowledged these suppressed feelings and openly communicated them, leading to a dramatic decrease in her anxiety and improvement in her familial relationships. The hidden emotion technique relies on the idea that anxiety often sprouts from ignored inner conflicts or feelings. Those prone to anxiety are frequently people pleasers, avoiding confrontations and harboring self-destructive beliefs like the need to appease others, which leaves their true emotions buried. Applying this technique involves a reflective process of identifying recent events or interactions that might be sowing subconscious distress. Adopting honesty about any negative emotions surfacing within you is crucial. Express these thoughts constructively and take active steps to navigate any conflicts. Anxiety serves as your body's alert, hinting at unresolved issues lurking beneath the surface. By delving into and addressing these hidden emotions, one can achieve notable relief and gain insightful understanding into their emotional landscape. This proactive approach paves the way for a more serene and fulfilling life, highlighting the transformative power of acknowledging and resolving the true origins of anxiety.
In concluding, when panic attacks, DavidDBurns provides a compelling argument for addressing anxiety and depression through understanding and altering cognitive and emotional patterns. The summary underscores the inadequacy of medication for genuine healing and champions cognitive behavioral therapy, proving its effectiveness in long-term recovery. From identifying self-defeating beliefs to employing humor-based techniques, Burns advocates numerous strategies that arm you against anxiety. Exposure therapy reveals the transformative potential of confronting fears directly, while the hidden emotion technique encourages uncovering and addressing repressed feelings for holistic mental wellness. By applying the book's practical, accessible tools, you can diminish the hold of anxious thoughts and depressive moods, ultimately achieving a more confident and fulfilling life. Through consistent practice and self-exploration, the path to emotional freedom opens up, demonstrating the vital role of psychological insights in overcoming life's inner struggles.